Hi, it's Cheryl with you again at Caribou Country Lifestyle. Today I am just going to kind of go over just some of the not plants, well, some of them are plants, but the seeds and the plants that I ordered in my Lindenberg catalog and my T&T catalog, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks as well. I want to start a series of videos each week. So I just wanted to talk about some of the seeds that I ordered and why I actually ordered these seeds and plants. So to start, I have the Hikari salad turnip. I've never heard of this before, but in the description, it was basically saying that it takes a little bit longer than a radish, but it's like a turnip and you can either eat it raw, and it was saying here that if it's eaten raw, the flavor is sweet and fruity and the texture is crisp and tender, but it is also excellent roasted. The dark green tops are useful raw or lightly cooked with the roots. And then they have a picture here, and I just kind of wanted to show you the picture. So that's it. So there it is with them raw, and then the picture beside it is with it roasted. I don't know about you, but I'm all about the roasted vegetables. I will roast rutabagas, Brussels sprouts with onions, carrots, celery, peppers, zucchini. I will put all of that into a pan and I will roast that in the oven. So to add another root vegetable in the mix of other things that I already am roasting, I'm definitely all over that. So I'm pretty excited to get that seed and start that and see what that's about. I also have ordered the yellow tumbler tomato. It's a cherry tomato. It's a determinate, and with it being a determinate, that means I'm going to be having it in a hanging basket. I did this last year and they did pretty good, but I think instead of having them hanging right out in the full sun, I'm actually going to hang them where my soffits are, where the eaves comes over from the house, and that way they will get a little bit of shade. I think with them being out in the full sun, it was actually too much, because you think about it, the sun comes up on the back side of my deck, and then it goes all the way across, and they actually never get any shade. Even once it's come around to the front of the house, they're still out in the open, so they don't get any shade, and I think that was too much full sun for them. And the same with the pots that I had, and I had determinate tomatoes in the pots. So I had the San Marzano, the Lemon Boys, the Manitoba tomatoes, and those are all determinate, and I can have them in pots, but I need to have them more up against the house so that they will get some shade and it won't be out in the full sun, and I think it would do a lot better there. So I'm going to try that this year. So that was the yellow tumbler that I ordered. I also ordered, I was talking about the cozy coats. So here is a picture. So those red plastic covers, and then if you see underneath, that is in Ontario, and it is the third week in April in Ontario, and there is snow, and it is like -7 around April 24th. And they had tomatoes in under those cozy coats in the third week in April, and it's -7 overnight, and they were able to survive in those conditions. I have not tried that. I will plant my tomatoes at the beginning of June. Our last frost date is supposed to be June the 2nd, and I have planted them at the beginning of June, and we've had hail, and that is what has protected the tomatoes from the hail. But I think I'm actually going to try and plant them out in the garden before the last frost, and we'll see what happens. I mean, if they're gonna do that in the third week in April, I should be able to plant them the middle of May out in the garden. So that's going to be good. And I did get a 50 pack of those. I already have almost 20 cozy coats to begin with. I only need a couple more. And when you can, they have a sleeve repair kit that you can get as well. So if you find that one of the little compartments, that it's just round and it has little compartments that are sectioned off, and those little sectioned off sleeves, you fill them up with water. Well, over the years, sometimes, and I think a lot of it has to do when you're using those tomato cages, sometimes they'll get, the sleeve will get punctured and then it doesn't hold the water in it. So you buy these Cozy Coat repair sleeves and you slide it down into it, and then you can fill it up with water and you don't have to worry about the water draining out of that sleeve. So I do have some sleeve repair, a kit of sleeve repairs. So also another thing I ordered was the hoop wires. So the hoop wires, they are pre-cut and they're 6 feet long with a heavy 9-gauge galvanized wire. That what that does is I want to put those over some of my rows of vegetables that would need protection. Maybe it would be my broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower from the cabbage moths. And they come along and they lay eggs into those plants. And then what happens is those eggs turn into those little green cabbage worms, and they just will decimate a crop within no time. The cabbage moths have laid their eggs, and then you have the little worms, cabbage worms in there, and they just chew apart all your plants up. And you can, I've used them on slugs, the diatomaceous earth as well. If I've noticed that last year I had slugs on my pepper plants, and I definitely had them on some of my lettuce too, and I was using diatomaceous earth. And what the diatomaceous earth does is it basically cuts right through those slugs, and it also will cut through those caterpillars to the cabbage. Okay, now the last thing I ordered with TNT was the sweet potato vines. I am going to be going to Vancouver, and I want to pick up some sweet potatoes, and I want to be able to grow some of my own sweet potato vines off of the sweet potatoes. And what I can do is just add that to these sweet potato vines that I've ordered. You get 5 of them, but it's like $22, $23 for 5 sweet potato vines. And I could buy a couple of sweet potatoes and try to root them and grow my own sweet potato slips off of some potatoes, just soaking them in water. I have a book that tells me how to be able to start my own sweet potato slips. So I want to try that too. Out of Lindenberg, I ordered these. I ordered the red currants, and I also ordered the huckleberries. No, not huckleberries. Gooseberries. Sorry, I ordered the gooseberries and I ordered the red currants. So I am looking forward to having those. And hopefully I had a comment about them spreading out. So I'm hoping to see what that's going to look like, how much they spread out. I did read up on them, and they get about 5 feet high, 5 feet wide. So I'm not sure how much that they're going to be spreading out for that. I also got this Santa Cruz Sunset Begonia. And the Santa Cruz Sunset Begonia is this one here. And that will be in a hanging basket. And I figure if I have that either on my deck or hanging in a basket at the front of my house, it wouldn't get that full sun either. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I got that in seed, so I will be starting that in the house. And then when I get the seeds, I'll find out exactly how, when I need to start them, because the book doesn't tell you how in advance you need to be starting these seeds. So once I get the packet, then I will have a better idea of when I need to be starting those. I got these Marvel of Peru. This is that one in the center, the mixed colors, Marvel of Peru. And that's basically the 4 o'clock flowers. And I'm hoping that these will all be coming this week. Then on this one, I was saying I had ordered some pansies. And this is the strawberry cream pansy that I ordered. And then the osteospermum, I ordered these, shades of lavender. Last year I ordered a purple one. It was just a regular purple osteospermum, and I really liked the looks of those flowers in the garden. I also ordered the Mary Washington asparagus in seed. So then I'm going to be starting that in March as well. I also ordered some Chinese cabbage. My sister grew some Chinese cabbage at her place in Saskatchewan. And when I was there last August, she had made like a Chinese coleslaw salad, and oh my gosh, was it ever good. And she had planted this Chinese cabbage in her garden. I'm getting the Black Beauty eggplant. I'm also getting the lemon basil, lemon balm, and lemon grass. They don't have pictures of those, so there's no point in me showing you that. I am getting the, what is this one? The red Zeppelin onions. And that's in the seed. So I'll be starting those as well. And I think I've only got a couple more left. Getting the big Bertha peppers, and they will be green, but they will turn to red also. And I'm also getting another hanging basket tumbler type tomato in the red. I enjoyed the yellow and the red, so I will be getting those. And then my sweet peas that I'm getting, this was the streamer mix, and I thought these were quite pretty actually. So that's the streamer mix of the sweet peas, and they just have like streaks of white in the color of the sweet peas. So that is all what I've ordered, and those will all be coming to me hopefully, well, not all of it. So with the red currant and also with the gooseberries, those are plants that I have ordered, and they will not come to me until sometime in May, probably around the May long weekend. It usually comes around then because they don't send those out to you right away. They need to wait. And same with the sweet potato slips. They won't send me those until in May, before I'm about to plant them. And then they give you directions on what to do with those plants, how to plant them, where you need to put them. A lot of times you will add a little bit of bone meal when you're planting those plants. You'll dig your hole, add a bit of bone meal in the bottom, add some soil over top of that, and then plant your plant in there and water it after you've planted it. So my series that I want to start, so come February, that's when I'm going to be starting my seeds. It'll be the weekend of the 25th and the 26th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. I'm not sure which day I'm going to be starting my seeds, but I want to start a series, and it'll be like 12-week seed starting series. And I will go over the seeds that I'm starting, what conditions I will have set up to start those seeds, whether or not they need a heat mat under them, maybe they need total darkness, maybe you're not supposed to cover the seeds, maybe you have to soak the seeds before you plant them. So I'm going to be going over all of that in detail and showing you what that's going to look like. So definitely come along and join me for my seed starting series. And how I will do that is at 12 weeks, I will start the various seeds, and it could be flowers and it will be vegetables. I will have a list of which seeds I'm going to be starting. So maybe that's something that you might be interested in following along with me for that. So there'll be lots of detail. And then once they have germinated, then I'll also talk about how to take care of them after that. Maybe we're going to have to separate them and put them into bigger pots, and I'll go over all of that as well. So this was a pretty short video. I just kind of wanted to go over the different things that I have ordered. I have my laminated calendar all set up. I ended up buying some kind of thinner dry erase markers. I found the ones that I had were a little too wide, and I was having a hard time writing everything into the small boxes that I have. I also have cleaned up the area where my new plant stand is going to be going with my new lights, my LED lights. I had cleaned out an area where I was saying I was going to have it, and Jamie said it needed to be 4 feet. So I'm going to show you what I've done, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so here's the plant stand that Jamie made me like 20 years ago. And I've got all my trays and my lids, my fertilizers, watering can, all of that is on this stand. And then, ta-da! This is the spot that I cleared out. It had my shelving unit on it with a bunch of puzzles and games and various assorted things on it. I ended up actually moving it right here up against this wall. Just took everything off, reorganized it, and set it back up along with all the rest of those boxes. And like I say, we have all those boxes to go through. I mean, yes, a lot of it is stuff that we have just put in boxes from all the moves that we've made, but some of those boxes are actually my husband's mom. She was quite the book collector, and so we need to go through that my husband Jamie would like to keep a lot of the books, but there's quite a few of them we need to go through. So Jamie's mom, she is in a seniors facility that she has dementia, which is a tough one. Just because if you knew her and her personality before, it's just such a terrible disease that just takes over your mind. And Jamie will go and pick her up on Sundays and brings her over here for dinner, and his sister and her husband come over for dinner as well. She doesn't remember any of our names. She knows that we're familiar and that she has seen us before, but she has a hard time remembering our names. So that's a tough one that, when your mom there's so many things that she doesn't remember. So we basically just took out all of her books and some of her other personal belongings that we figured that she wasn't going to need. She definitely had to downsize considerably before moving into this facility. So it's tough, but you make the best of what you have. And as long as she's still able to come out and come for a visit, we're all about that. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, throw a like in there. And if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. So anyways, I don't think I will be doing a video next weekend. We're going to be really busy getting a lot of things organized as well. Around here, I think we're going to be setting up that plant stand down here with my new LED lights, so that's awesome. Anyways, but the following weekend, the weekend of the February the 25th and the 26th, that's when I'll be starting my seed starting series. So join me for that. We'll talk to you then, and have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll talk again. Bye for now.